Good morning. Barbara Ozuna here with another update for this week. We are ready for school next Tuesday. Are you? We sure hope so. In the coming few days, just to get you updated on what will be happening, by Thursday evening, you will see, or your child will see, if he or she logs into Google, and specifically to the Google Classroom sites, your child should see all 8 of their classes in Google Classroom. And what they just need to do is hit join, and it should be there. We are going to import those using a workaround so that there isn't a lot of emails being looked for, links to be found. We feel strongly that that might just cause a lot of worries. If you do not yet know your child's schedule, please have your child log into the class link page, which is the page with all of the little tiles on it. Go into the Focus account, find Schedule, and that's where your child's schedule is. Along that same line, there's a section for grades that will be available, obviously, once grades start to become a thing, which will be, next week, I guess, after Tuesday. In general, y'all, we are going to be sending out progress reports every Monday afternoon so that you as parents have a chance to keep up with what your child is doing, what he or she is missing, and that's just going to be helpful to you, hopefully, in ensuring that your child is doing what he or she needs to be doing. We also will be posting to the McLean website the Google Sites, which is a website essentially for each teacher. And so if you go into the faculty and staff section on the McLean website, by Thursday afternoon, you will have links to all of those Google Sites. And then you can go and find the teacher in the schedule of your child and go check out their site. On that site, you will see a little bit about the teacher. You will see schedules and office hours information, and you will see a very easy to follow lesson plan that will allow you to figure out what exactly your child needs to do. All of those lesson plans will look similar. They will have a grid pattern, with the top row of that grid being the assignments that your child must do, and then the bottom rows of that grid being some choice that students get to work on their own. The goal is that students will be working with their teachers on the top row assignments in live sessions. And since we have live sessions for each course 3 days a week, on average, you will see 3 assignments across that top, representing 1 assignment for each of the days with live sessions. The goal being that if a child attends the live sessions, they will then have those 3 assignments done. The 2 days that are not live, but are rather work on your own, are where the bottom rows of choices come in. We want your child to choose one of those may-dos, for lack of a better word, and they will be working on those on their own with due dates and deadlines that the teacher sets. In some cases, those may-dos will be turned in weekly. In other cases, those may-dos may be a longer-term project with some goalposts and checkpoints for weekly assignments. It is imperative for attendance purposes that your child logs into Google Classroom and looks in every single Google Classroom that he or she has and answers the question of the day, because that question of the day will be how teachers count attendance. So every day we need to ensure that your student is engaged, and that engagement adds up to the attendance. And remember, those 90% attendance laws are still in place. So please make sure that you train your child to get on their Google Classrooms and answer those questions. It'll be pretty clear of what they need to do each day so that they know that they've got their attendance measures. And that is even for those classes that don't meet that day. So if a student decides to go to the Google class and go to the meet and do the work with the teacher, for those 3 days that that's available, they will absolutely get counted present. For those days when they're basically working on their own, it is imperative that they do the question of the day so that they get credit for attendance. It is easier as a habit of mind to just remind students every day to just go in there and answer those questions. And it'll be easy things. It might be a check-in. It might be something you put into the stream of the Google Classroom. So this won't be complicated, but it is important. The very first day of school, which is Tuesday, September the 8th, students will be on an A day, and teachers will go over those kinds of things with the kids. The hope is that we have a really fun and engaging day. On Wednesday, September the 9th, students will again have an A day. On that day, we will be going over various procedural things like we would during the first week of school if we would be live. Then Thursday is our first B day. That is when periods 1 through 4 are live in the morning, and periods 5 through 7 are not live in the afternoon. And there is help available through office hours, but students are essentially working on their own. And that's when those questions become very important for attendance purposes. Then on Friday, we will have our first C day. That is where periods 5, 6, 7, and our 8th period social and emotional learning class will meet. And then what would traditionally be the morning classes will be meeting in the afternoon with office hours. And again, that is where those questions for attendance purposes are going to be critical. I hope this makes some sense and that you've got a good overview of what we're doing next week. It sure feels like we're launching school. This is the grand opening of McLean Middle School during COVID season. We've worked really, really hard behind the scenes. Please bear with us should there be any glitches, as we will bear with you and your child should logging on and things like that be difficult. But we are sure looking forward to working with you next week and for the 4 weeks to come, and hopefully we'll be in person on October the 5th. Thank you for listening.